What if we had the entire Jokic versus Embiid debate backwards?
Joel Embiid will never win a championship until he gets his mind and his attitude right.
For years, we argued about who was the best center in the NBA, the best center of this era.
Take it back down, broad straight.
Embiid versus Jokic, MVP versus MVP, skill versus dominance.
But Joel Embiid really dominated Nikola Jokic in that round.
But what if I told you we spent years debating the wrong thing? For 3 straight seasons, NBA fans went to war over this debate.
56 double-doubles this season. Like, the numbers speak for themselves. I'm going with Nikola Jokic at this moment.
Jokic and the way he passes the basketball changes the dynamic when we have this conversation because they're not asked to do the same thing.
I would prefer Embiid too, because I understand it as a talent. This brother might, as a talent from the big man position.
I just assume we more smart people on first base, and the guy I talk about is the guy I choose for the MVP.
Who truly ran the league? Who would define the center position for years to come? But now, Jokic is dominating.
Jokic with a steal. Got Christian Brown. Got to light it in. Tip Jokic. Jokic put it up and in.
Embiid is fighting through another injury.
Joel Embiid has officially been ruled out for the rest of the season with this knee injury that has been bothering him for quite some time.
Joel Embiid's knee issues seem to have not made any real progress in recent weeks to months, with new reports he's receiving regular injections in his knee.
And suddenly, the conversation doesn't feel the same. So let's ask the real question. Were we wrong about who we were debating as the greatest center of this era?
I think it would have been some great battles going against those guys because, they are very good, they are very talented, and they can do a lot of things. I take my hat off to both of them, and I love watching them.
The MVP race is over.
I have a vote. I'm voting for Joel Embiid.
He's the MVP. Give him the award.
Are we looking at Jokic as a top 5 player in the game? A lot of people don't.
Did Jokic always have the edge? And with history being written in real time, is Embiid at risk of becoming a what could have been story? Let's talk about it. You ever argue with your boys about a player and then a year later realize the debate was never really close? That's where we might be with the Jokic versus Embiid situation.
Since winning MVP 2023, Embiid has only played a total of 52 regular season games while dealing with various injuries. Meanwhile, Jokic has 44 triple-doubles in that same time frame, and he's logged 4 straight triple-doubles. In all 4, he did not play in the fourth quarter. Ties an NBA record with Harden and Westbrook.
That's Smokey Duck.
Has Jokic cleared Embiid as the better basketball player?
For 3 straight years, this was the conversation. The MVP races, the head-to-head battles, the narratives. It was must-watch TV. And look, Embiid absolutely earned his MVP. He dominated the regular season, led the league in scoring, played elite defense, and gave Jokic work in their head-to-head matchup. That wasn't some sympathy award. He deserved that trophy.
When Joel Embiid came back for the very end of the regular season, I thought to myself, what a warrior. He could so easily have not tried to make it back here. He's got the knee, all that kind of stuff.
So yes, Embiid does need to have a real playoff run, hopefully this year, if not very soon thereafter, or else it's not that the MVP looks bad, it's that he stands out as the only MVP in league history to have never been to round 2, or to round 3, pardon me.
But here's the problem. Winning MVP does not make you the greatest of your era. And now, with Jokic stacking up playoff wins and Embiid watching from the sidelines, the conversation about who really runs the era of centers probably should not have been a debate at all. So let's break it down. Think back to when you saw the words Jokic versus Embiid. That was the conversation, the MVP battles, the dominance.
This guy is unbelievable.
The fans going at it over who was really the best. But what if we had it all wrong? What if this was never actually a debate? What if one of these guys was always a step ahead and we refused to see it? Because while one of them has stayed healthy, consistent, and now is getting mentioned as one of the greatest centers ever, the other keeps running into the same roadblock. Injuries, early playoff exits, and another season of quote-unquote what if. So was this even a real rivalry? Or was Jokic always set to be the greatest center of this era without a doubt? Yeah, this one's gonna get messy. Don't forget to hit me with the like and subscribe if you mess with this type of content. Before all the MVP talk, these two weren't even in the same conversation. Back in 2020, Jokic was making deep playoff runs.
Pick and roll
and Embiid was still trying to prove he could stay healthy.
That there was trouble as well. He was calling for help.
Jokic had just carried the Nuggets to the Western Conference Finals. Meanwhile, Embiid was coming off another early playoff exit, and his durability was still a major question mark.
Looks like it hurts. The good news, though, is that he did walk off by himself.
But then came 2021, the first time these two really competed for the MVP. And at first, Embiid had the edge. He was dominating on both ends, leading the Sixers to the #1 seed. If he stayed healthy, the award was his.
When we talk about a center winning this, might it be Jokic, might it be Embiid? If it's one of those two, who do you give it to?
I give it to Joel Embiid right now.
Because?
He's playing the game like he's supposed to be playing. He's leading, rebounding, he's playing inside, he's out there having fun. His PPG is more than the Joker's, and he's a little bit better, not a lot better.
Injury.
Not again. But now, of course, we've seen the results of the MRI stating that Embiid has a small lateral meniscus tear in his right knee, out for Game 5 and considered day-to-day.
Embiid went down, missed key games, and Jokic took full advantage. He stayed healthy, led Denver through adversity, and walked away with his first MVP.
Jokic holding up his MVP trophy.
At this point, the rivalry had officially begun. Embiid wanted revenge in 2022, but Jokic wasn't slowing down. The 2021 to 2022 season saw Embiid come back even stronger, putting up career numbers, but this time, Jokic had leveled up. With Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. out for the season, Jokic put the Nuggets on his back, leading them to the playoffs with insane numbers. 27 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, on 58% shooting. And once again, he played every game. Meanwhile, Embiid was right there with him. The numbers were close and both players had a legit case. But with James Harden joining the Sixers mid-season, voters started to question whether Embiid had too much help. So when the dust settled, Jokic won his second MVP.
Bill Russell, Finals MVP goes to Nikola Jokic.
Should he have won the MVP? So Ramona, I'll start with you.
Because Jokic wins, you can look at the advanced stats. I think it's going to go down in history as, okay, he won because of the advanced stats. That's how it's being written right now. But history should not always be judged 5 minutes after it happens. It can be judged 5 years or 5 or 10 years from now. I think Joel Embiid deserved to win. That's who I voted for.
Hey, some kind of way we got to get a hold of this voting shit, man. Jokic is great, better than I ever was. I ain't taking nothing from him, dog, but he is not a back-to-back MVP. Just like Steve Nash wasn't a back-to-back MVP. And these are just facts, man. It's other players who having great years, career years, who teams have a chance to win the championship. And if you know the game, you know Denver did not have a chance to win the championship. And that's just speaking facts. It ain't taking nothing from them. It's just the facts, bro.
If the MVP race is over, I'm really, like tonight, we couldn't make shots. We had guys making shots, with open shots. The man just scored half our points.
2 MVPs in a row, back-to-back, and Embiid, runner-up. Again. By 2023, the MVP battle was no longer just about the numbers. It was about recognition.
Can I ask you all guys about Embiid the other night, about the 52-point game?
Very impressive, but again, I'm not quite clear on what the MVP criteria is, because I mean,
for 2 straight years, Embiid had put up MVP-worthy seasons only to watch Jokic take the trophy home. But this time, there was no denying him. He led the NBA in scoring, elite two-way play, and absolute destruction of Jokic in their head-to-head matchups. That 47-point game, that was against Denver.
But he's getting 6.5 rebounds. Embiid pushed by Jokic, counted and 1. And then you like the fact that Jokic and Embiid will move so hard. How about this move? Embiid trying to get Jokic to pick up that second foul, goes right at him. Very smart move.
That was the moment. The media, the fans, everyone flipped. Jokic, who had been the front runner all year, suddenly fell behind. The MVP narrative shifted, and for the first time in 3 years, Embiid won.
MVP.
And let's be clear, he earned that MVP. But did that moment, that award, was that ever part of the real debate? Because after that MVP, Jokic went nuclear. MVP debates are cool and all, but playoff dominance is really what matters.
Everybody keeps talking about the MVP awards.
How much are you thinking about that?
I never play basketball to win individual awards, so MVP is something just that people and media around are trying to make a story of it. So if it happens. I don't play for that. Like I said, as long as we're winning, I'm happy.
Jokic didn't waste time proving his point. After finishing second in MVP voting, he hit the playoffs and ran through the league. Swept the Lakers in the conference finals.
Just gets it off in time. It's up. Oh, it's good. Of course it goes in.
Outplayed LeBron, KD, and Jimmy Butler on his way to the title and getting finals MVP.
Trophy, the third in his career to Nikola Jokic, the commissioner here.
Meanwhile, with Embiid, another second round exit. Another game where he looked exhausted. Another season ending with more questions than answers. Jokic didn't just win a ring. He erased all doubt about who the real best center was. Respectfully. So here we are. Jokic is still dominating. Embiid is still watching from the sidelines. As of today, Jokic is averaging 30, 12, and 10 assists per game. The Nuggets are still one of the best teams in the league, and Jokic isn't just playing well. He's rewriting how we look at the center position. Meanwhile, with the Sixers, they stink. Embiid, he's injured again. A knee issue has been the conversation for weeks, if not months. And now there's talk of a surgery.
That's continued tearing in the meniscus. That also influences what potential surgeries or treatments he might have. My concern with the repetitive swelling, the repetitive effusions he's getting, the injections that they're doing, is that this has evolved beyond just simple meniscus tearing.
This isn't new. It's the pattern that has defined his career. And this is the harsh reality. You can't be the greatest if you're not on the floor when it matters. 10 years from now, what will come to mind about this debate? Jokic, he's on track to be an all-time great. The MVPs, the rings, the way he plays the game. He's building a legacy that'll stand the test of time. Embiid, he's got the talent, but injuries are threatening to define his career. When people look back, they won't remember who won MVP in 2023. They'll remember who ran the league. And right now, that's Nikola Jokic. So yeah, Jokic versus Embiid was one of the biggest debates in recent NBA history, but it's far from the only one. If you thought this discussion was wild, wait till you see the breakdown of the Jokic versus SGA MVP race this season. We took a deep dive into how the public sees the debate, the narrative shaping it, and who has the edge. Click here to check it out. You don't want to miss this one. Don't forget to leave me that like and subscribe if you mess with the content, and I'm gonna catch y'all over there. Peace.